I'm sure, like me, whenever you turn to a sporting event on television, you want to just hear about that player, that team, wins and losses, what that game means to the team that's struggling, or you want to hear about the opposing team, how well they're playing, their superstars, who will step up this game. You want to keep it at the game, right? But we have seen, and this is mostly due to one or two sports networks out there, agendas being floated out there by the people who sit behind the desk, right? Whether if you're a man, a woman, or just someone else, you're just floating out these agendas to talk about the athlete accused of assault, how bad they are, and should go to jail. Or you're just sprouting a political point of view which no one happens to agree with now because so many people are not doing so well. But yet you float it out there anyway. And if not, you have a podcast in which you do it. Or you spend a lots of time on the other networks floating about a favorite player who you know is going to the Hall of Fame, but you defend him and his agent and everything else, all the shenanigans they pull. And you weren't really expecting all this, weren't you? You just wanted to flip the channel or log on the website and just watch sports and know about sports. You're not you're not even dealing with all the things that happen now. I mean, I grew up at a time, most of you know I'm from LA and still live in the city. And I have to admit, being a Laker fan during the Showtime era was so great. So great. And I loved going to each parade that they had from the first time. I didn't go to the first one, the Magic and those boys beat Philly in 1980. That's okay. But I went to all the other ones and it was fun. And it was all about getting and having a good time. But I also like the sports commentary too. You know, CBS did such a great job when it was CBS, and they just presented they presented the game like an event. Not only that, the commentators just focused on the game, the players, and what they did in the game. They hyped up the game very well. At the half, you know, I don't think Pat O'Brien was there in the beginning, but definitely was there. You just got to saw these features about other players, their lives, things like that, and it was really good to keep you for the halftime, waiting for the second half of the game. Same thing with the NFL, right? NFL, great, great teams, great players, and that's all kept them on the field. And what I'm really trying to say is that sports, once upon a time, stayed on the field or in the stadium or in the lives of the players. We never got to see the agendas out there. I mean, I don't know what agenda Brent Musburger had or Pat O'Brien had. All the other guys from CBS Sports who also did college basketball for a while. I don't know what kind of agendas they had. That stuff was usually behind the scenes, right? But now it seems as if it's anything other than sports that's being portrayed. You have sports leagues, sports teams, you have commentators, sports debaters, who maybe because of the opportunities that await them as far as podcasts and whatnot, just seem to go out their way and just put it all out there. Throw objectivity out the window, right? I mean, never in a million years, would you have Jim Nance when the Houston Cougars were on the way to the Final Four in the basketball championship. You never heard him on CBS talk about, yeah, Houston Cougars, they're going to beat North Carolina and they're going to go through North Carolina State. They're going to win. No, you never heard Jim Nance say that, because that's a professional point of view. You never say that. You never express to anyone your who you believe in, your sports team. You can talk about them, right? I mean, look, imagine if for some stroke of luck that I was a journalist on a local field or whatever, and I said, oh yeah, The Rams are going to whip that 49er tail. They're going to beat the 49ers, right? And I can say that because then all the objectivity goes out the window. I am no longer a journalist by that metric. I am just merely a fan occupying the seat of a journalist. And that's what we have come to. That's my agenda, right? My agenda is to pump my team out there no matter what and lose all objectivity. Or basically put, if I felt so strongly about a player who assaulted a woman, or my wife was a sports commentator, and she says, I don't like that guy. He deserves to go to jail. He deserves to go to prison, Her objectivity is gone too. Because when you sit behind that chair, when you sit behind that desk, you are paid, I would think, not to express your views about the teams you like or any of it matters. You're a journalist. Again, I'm not telling these people what to do, but I'm just saying the idea, because I'm also a freelance writer myself, that you have to have objectivity in your work because you're representing that network, that paper, whatever it is you're representing, and they stand by you. If you want people to take a look at you without the bias that they accuse you of, you're going to have to be objective. Yes, it was nice that the Knicks were in the championship. It was great. The story is, after 53 years, how do the fans feel about that? How do the people in New York, after 53 years of waiting, feel about that? To see the Knicks. How are the stores and shops are feeling now that you can sell Knicks merchandise once again this late in the season? That should have been the story. How the Knicks are captivated by it. How New York City is now captivated by the Knicks winning, or even in the finals. But instead, we have one person who made it all by himself. One person who decided to take all of that and draw it into himself and make himself the story. And I think in these days and times, in 2026, we have too many journalists who would want to make themselves the stories, and not only that, have their agenda while they're being not a journalist. That's not right. That's not right. In order for me to keep watching you, just show me some objectivity. Show me a story about how that city that never sleeps feels about finally having a champion that they can now support after all these years of trying and not reaching that goal. And it's not about the Knicks. It's not about New York. It's many other places too, right? The small markets and all that. No one talks about the small markets anymore, like the Cincinnatis and all the other cities that are not as big as the LAs and New Yorks and Chicagos. But it just goes to show you that, again, we are focusing on the wrong things, right? The GOAT debate. Even Michael Jordan said he's not the greatest, and it would be unfair to all the people in the past, like the Wilts, the Jerry Wesses, the Elgin Baylors, the Bill Russells, the Casey Jones, Tommy Heinsohns, John Havliceks. He's right. It's not fair to any of those gentlemen in the past. Even the gentleman who did win championship, even the Rick Barrys, right, who did win one with the Warriors. But I think sports is focusing on the wrong things at the wrong time. Why? Because we live in a world now where clicks matter, subscriptions matter, everything matters except sports. We live in a world where opinion is king and objectivity is second best or third best. But if you're like me and you want objectivity to come back into sports, if you want to see these agendas not taking center stage by anybody behind any desk at any network or website, all you have to do is have what I call a storefront mentality. Now, a storefront thrives if people go there to shop. People support it by spending the dollars, spending hard-earned money to support that storefront. Storefronts fail when people stop going to it, people stop supporting it. And I think you know what I'm getting at, right? If you feel so strongly about these individuals and these networks and these agendas and all this, and really another GOAT conversation, don't watch them. I've said this before. I mentioned it many times in other video essays when it comes to sports. And I would just say don't watch them. Leave them alone. If you know this person is going to talk about this subject, turn away from it. You don't need to hear that because you already know what that person is going to say. And you already know how they feel about the subject matter. So why waste your time watching that? Why waste your time supporting someone who doesn't give a crap about you and never would? Let me share something with you. And I've been around many people who are higher status. They don't care anything about you at all. They like your support. They like that you keep watching. But really, seriously, they don't care about you at all. And this I mentioned many times too on other topics. But they don't really care about you. They care about you only if they're doing well and they feel like you're supporting them. And how many videos have you watched where they're discussing about something controversial that they said? And yet, we do nothing. You don't have to watch them. You don't have to support them. You don't have to mention them. Let other people mention them. Y'all know about that one guy who makes all these statements. Do you think I spend my time on this channel, other channels mentioning him? No. What about that one gentle lady host who always talks bad about the shade? Do you talk about her? No. Why would I give oxygen to people who need air? Why would I do that? The best thing, and I wrote in poems like this many times, when relationships don't work out, turn and walk away. It's going to be hard, but you turn and walk away. Would you, gentlemen, want to stay with a young woman or a mature woman who mistreats you, who does you wrong, who doesn't give you the satisfaction making you feel like you're number one? No. Or, as referenced to me in my poems, she's found someone else, and therefore she doesn't need you. The best thing you can ever do is walk away. And that's what I'm urging all of you to do when you have sports personalities who just don't feel right. Just aren't sounding logical, who are not seeing the reality that we all see. And can't and won't and never will. My advice to you is to simply just turn around and walk away. It's going to be hard, but right now, in 2026, in June, right now there's no other choice. And I pray that that choice is the one that you'll make. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to like or subscribe, whichever suits your fancy. And if you feel a comment, you feel whatever I said has helped you, or you may disagree with what I said, or even if the person I'm talking about, go ahead, comment. But I really wish you all the best. and thank you. Until next time, take care.